Hey everybody, welcome back to the Level Up Climbing Series, Episode 2. My name is Marcus, and I'll be breaking down and analyzing my climbing each week in hopes of becoming a better climber. So today we have an absolute banger of an episode. Within just the 1 week that I've started vlogging, I've been sending way more projects, which has just been the goal overall. And I'm just really excited to share lots of the climbs that I sent. So as I talked about in episode 1, I try and do different drills throughout my warm-up, and I'll be starting by showing off my elimination drills for the most part. So if you don't know what elimination is, it's you try and climb a medium, fairly easy climb, but with missing one limb each time. So here you see I'm climbing without my right leg, and I've been trying to do that for the last 3 attempts, but it was way too difficult. This one I'm trying to climb it without my left leg instead. Also way too difficult. Surprisingly, the easier ones I found were trying to climb it without one of my arms. So on this one, I'm trying to climb it without my left arm. And this climb was really interesting. I feel like it was very bouncy. It's not really slab, so it was just interesting having a pretty bouncy climb off slab. But it is in that corner, so I felt like I could really press, just really press. So on this go, I'm trying to focus on staying to the right of that starting hold and trying to use the volume here to just press myself up. And this was pretty much the hardest move, I think, of this, is just trying to go out to the right here. And as you can see, my right leg goes up. And so this time I try and switch the feet so that hopefully I'm in a bit more of a better balanced position. So left foot out. But the video doesn't convey it. That hold was just so difficult to pinch. So instead this time I try and climb it without my right hand. And although for the most part it's pretty similar, being able to go up to that pinch with my left, I just felt so much better. And this one was pretty interesting overall, just because I feel like it was less about being dynamic, but more about being creative, while obviously still being somewhat dynamic. But also, since it was pretty bouncy, I feel like I was actually trying to be more static than usual. So although I worked on different things, I thought it was still a good warm-up drill. So then I quickly hopped onto this pink 3. It was just a climb that I hadn't done, and I thought it would help still keep me kind of in my warm-up. Something pretty easy, but at the same time something that I haven't done before. And I was feeling pretty good, so I went straight towards my projects. So this was a green crimpy climb that I had tried maybe 2 weeks ago. And I was struggling even just on the start. The holds are really small. I couldn't guess how small they are, but I was struggling just to get off the start. And here I was making a lot of progress. The left hand throw up was honestly like a Hail Mary at the time. I threw up there thinking that I wasn't gonna make it, but once I hit it, I was like, oh, I think I could send this. And I really think a large difference between this attempt and last time was honestly the finger strength training that I've been doing on the hangboard. The holds felt small, but they didn't feel impossibly small. So I was really happy about that one. This yellow 4 hex was another project that I've been working on around the same time. And to me, it's just this mantle press, one arm press thing that I just could not figure out. I feel like pressing was something I was really, really good at, but lately I realized I have not been as good at. And so kind of the solution here was just to do kind of a running start and just froggy it. This is not the most flattering view, but it got the job done. I doubt it was the intended beta, but the other way just felt so impossibly hard. And so maybe something I'll need to work on in the future is just that tricep press. Then I moved on to this green project. I had I actually think this is the first time I tried it, but I had looked at it and thought it was pretty interesting before. So I guess it's maybe not correct to call it a project, but I thought I could project it. So it starts with this heel hook on the right, and I'm just trying to figure out how exactly I want to grab this hold. Do I want to grab it like an undercling, or do I want to grab it over kind of like a Gaston? And again, the video doesn't do it justice, but the feet are pretty overhung there, and that left foot hold is atrocious. Plus the wall is quite slippery, so as you can see, I'm trying to move that left foot up, but I just couldn't make anything work. And so it's more of like I'm hopping to that foothold, and since I'm hopping to it, I'm just pretty inaccurate and it's just slipping. So for the most part, that was it. I thought I'd just move on to trying a bunch of different climbs. Thought it was gonna be a pretty easy session. I hopped onto this blue 3 hex that I thought was gonna be pretty soft, pretty easy. If you look at it, it's all jugs, and this was ungraded at the time. But as you'll soon see, like, the top was actually deceptively difficult. It's really hard to tell, but it's not straight up a jug. It's or maybe it's just the angle that it's at, but it felt a little slopey. I just realized that this guy at the bottom is trying to spot me, bless his soul. But yeah, on the right, I'm trying to get a drop knee. I'm trying to do anything to get that right hand off, and I find a sneaky little knee bar, which I was really happy with, since I almost never knee bar. This yellow 3 was pretty straightforward. I did fall on it during my warm-up. I had kind of just hopped on trying to get like another climb in. So I was happy to get this on the second go. But as I said, it was pretty straightforward, not too difficult. So this purple was another climb that I thought I'd hop on just to try new things, and it became quite challenging. Getting to this pocket up top was pretty bad, and the one on the right is just awful. I thought there's no way that's the move. But on this go, I don't know if you can tell, but I switched to a right hand on top, and I find this cheeky little toe hook, and I can finally make that move. And it just feels so much better. I kind of messed up the footing going to that undercling, but once I found the little toe hook, I thought, okay, for sure I can send this. And here I try and put my foot into that hole a little prematurely. And after this go, I'm like, it's just been a long enough session, so I call it a day. So this was a couple days later in the Surrey gym, and this session was just incredible. I felt like I was climbing so strong. As usual, I start back on elimination. I'm trying to climb here without a left foot. And this one was pretty interesting. I definitely think this one, I had to be quite dynamic. Just swinging my way to the top. And I'm not necessarily like pogoing every time, but really just being committal and going to each move just felt really good. I felt like I was moving pretty smoothly, and most of these were pretty much all first tries. There's kind of a pogo there, really swinging that right foot to make this next move. And unfortunately there I tried crossing the hands over, and it just got me all twisted up. So this time I stick to try and get the right hand to the right hold so that I don't have to cross, and it's an easy send from there. The next two are with just one hand. So in this one we're missing our left arm, and I thought this would actually be a lot harder than it was, but it was pretty straightforward really. if you look at it, all the holds are kind of just in a line straight up. So as long as you pull hard, it's not too bad. And I think I'm doing a good job of getting the hips off the wall and then into the wall. So as you can see, when I'm really pulling, I'm going really close to the wall. So I start off the wall and pull into the wall. Off the wall and in. So I thought that was a good elimination climb for me. Then I got into trying new climbs. So this was a orange 4 hex. Slab, if you don't know, has never really been quite my thing. I think my friends think I'm worse at slab than I actually am. I feel like my balance for the most part is actually pretty decent. I think definitely what I lack is finger strength, but especially since I've been starting to train finger strength, I feel like slab has been getting a little bit easier. And so looking at this orange 4, I thought that the last move would probably be the hardest one, and I was correct. This last move is just really far, and that volume on the right, maybe I just need to learn to trust my feet a bit more, but the handhold is so close to the foot, it just feels so hard to weight that right foot at all. So as you see, I just try and switch the feet, left foot on that orange hold, and I try and lean left as much as I can to get that right foot onto the volume. And so if anyone has any tips on what they think about when they do moves like these, I'd love to hear it. I just could not find a way to really get that foot up. So, and for this one too, I wonder if wingspan plays any role, because if you look, my right arm is fully straight, but it's so hard to get stood up and go further left. So I'm just wondering if there's something I'm really missing. Ideally, if that right hand were a little further left, I feel like I'd stand a better chance. So this pink 5 hex was one of my projects. If you may have seen it in episode 1. And in episode 1, I was not using the left foot hold sometimes, and I wasn't focusing on this right hand. So that was my main focus for today's session, and I thought I was feeling a whole lot better. I've only sent a couple of 5 hexes at this point, I think 6. So to get this 5 hex would be really amazing. And so the start, as I said, is pretty easy. And once I just caught that move, I was pretty confident I'd make it the rest of the way. Just finding I don't even remember if it was a toe or a heel, but the top was pretty straightforward. Honestly though, I do think this is a pretty soft 5. I wouldn't have been surprised if it was a 4, but someone at the gym thought it was a 5, so I'll take it. Let's go! Now this is the climb that I was most psyched about. I really think that vlogging helped me, because I don't think I would usually hop on this, but I saw my brother hop on it and I thought, hey, like, worst comes to worst, I have more footage. So it's really bouncy. The video will not even make it look as bad as it is, but the feet are pretty bad. Here I focus on moving to the right and trying to run into the wall more, opposed to running alongside the wall. But if you really look at it, it's basically a 2-move problem. The 2 upside down semicircles are the starting holds, and then the top hold is just a jug. So it shouldn't be as hard as it is, but the feet are just so bad that, as I said, the video just cannot show. And so maybe counterintuitively, I'm focusing on really weighing that right foot and not worrying too much about the hands. I feel like if I get enough weight on the right, there's just enough friction to hold me there. And a staff member actually came by and said that he thinks that looked really good, and he'd only seen one person send it, but he thinks my way will go. And so focusing on weighing the right foot, I get the hands to the start after, and I finally managed to establish after all these attempts. And now I'm extra hyped. On top of that, my brother, as well as a couple friends who are quite a bit better on slab than me, told me they couldn't get it, so I was now extra determined to send this. Once I stuck it though, it still wasn't that simple. I was very inconsistent and I couldn't start it every time. And here, like, oh, it just absolutely tore through my left shin. But the few times I did stick it, it also still wasn't easy. But for some reason, it just wasn't as good as the first time I stuck it. Like, I'm having trouble getting the left foot up there. Or this one, I feel like the left foot just kind of slips. And just the feet are way worse than the video makes it out to be. But finally, I do get on it. And what I start focusing on is I need to get more height. And so I'm focusing on really becoming like a spring, trying to get nice and low into that kind of frog position with the hips quite wide. You see I come down and then really try and launch. And once I got that, I knew that this was gonna go. I got just on the top and I just could not grab it. But I was so determined that I have to send this. And you can just tell, I'm so hyped. I so badly want to be able to send this and beat my brother and my friends. And on top of that, get 2 5 hexes in a day when I'd only sent 6 prior. I wanted this so badly. So let's just run the clip.
Let's go. Thank you.
Oh man, even now I'm so hyped. Like, after so many attempts and wanting it so badly, being able to grab that finish hold and just shout, "Let's go!" and just absolutely pop off is a feeling I haven't had in so long. And it's really reminded me, climbing's kind of fun.